Welcome back to Six Ashes for episode 19 with me, MrSealyp. It's 5:45 in the evening. My money, as you can see, has gone berserk. The great demand for wood chip is still continuing. Now, I sold everything I had. 700,000 litres, both of these emptied. I then took the liberty, and we'll go up, where are we? In the darkness. The spare trees are spare trees. The two trees that were driving me mad here that belong to this property have now been cut down. And over in the far corner, sorry, it's because it's dark. I've cut a load of this down, but I took 2 loads of wood chip. The rest I've logged. So I've got another 3 piles of logs. I've also been chopping away at these in the corner here. So I've got a load of stuff I can chuck through the wood chipper. Now what I'm doing at the moment, because of the money I made, I've also leased some better forestry equipment, I guess. I've still got the same wood chipper, but I've grabbed myself a Scorpion King. Just for that very reason. So what I'm going to do now is just replenish my stock. I'm not selling any more. I could just continually, until that great demand runs out, carry on cutting down trees, wood chipping and delivering. Absolutely I could. What I am going to do is just restock and I say fill up both. I don't know if I will. I'll do it until I get bored of doing it. But the snow is honking down again. We'll see what happens. Weather forecast is showing snow right the way through now till at least 9 o'clock, if not beyond, as the temperature starts to drop. So I've changed the cut length to 2 metres on this. Whereas before I was putting piles of logs on, I'm actually going to be, because I'm taking the trees from right next to where we are, I'm actually going to cut directly onto it. Gives me a lot more scope now for what I can purchase. Definitely the farm, definitely some more land, some bigger machinery, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's where we're at. Don't know what the situation is going to be. Somebody did say that when I did the salt spreading, that when it snows again, the snow won't settle where you spread salt. And I don't know if that's true or not. I'll say I haven't really done it doing seasonal work before, so that again we'll see. As you can see, I carried on with the track a bit further down, so I have done a little bit more salt spreading around the area. Just a few things here and there, but I just thought I'd catch up. Probably next time I'm going to see you, it's going to be in the morning. But also just to show that, if you're going to do wood chipping, whichever wood chipper you're going to use, there are multiple ways of doing it. You can cut down the logs, put logs onto the wood chipper. You can cut directly from your tree harvester onto the wood chipper. I've done it all different ways before. I've done it 1 metre lengths. I always find the longer lengths trickier. You've got to line your harvester up a lot, more specifically, or more accurately is the word I'm looking for. Bit. There we go. That's going to get caught between the trees, isn't it? Yep. That's kind of come at a funny angle. Let's try and pull that out a little bit. There we go. Whereas doing it at 1-2 metre lengths, I was talking to Barris actually the other day, and he was saying that it's probably, again, this is the balance between having a very good payout, even when there's not a great demand on for wood chips. The price is pretty good on here compared to most maps. It's pretty good. But something Barris mentioned, and I hadn't thought about it until he mentioned it. He said, have you noticed you get less wood chip per tree cut down? And I thought, you know what, that hadn't dawned on me. But when I was doing the wood chipping, I did think it was taking a lot of logs into the wood chipper to fill up the trailer. Bearing in mind the trailer's only 39,000 litres. I know on some maps I've got 8, 9, 10,000 litres of wood chip per tree before. Whereas doing it this way, I don't seem to be getting as much wood chip. I mean, it's basically what we're saying. So that could be the balance. Whilst the price is very good, you're having to cut down a lot more to get the wood chip you're getting, I think. So tomorrow morning we will have a look at, I don't know what we're going to have a look at, maybe looking at buying the new farm. I don't know if I want to do that straight away, maybe looking at getting another tractor, but again, not really a lot of point at the moment. In the winter there's not a lot I can do with it anyway, so don't know if I will. We'll see. It's day 2, early winter. As you've already seen, I was busy, and I was busy most of the night. It snowed up until about 10 o'clock. As you can see, it didn't settle anywhere where I've already put salt down, which was absolutely fantastic. Very happy with that. Animals have been fed this morning. That just needs to update itself. But pigs are up to 36 now. Sheep are still on 28, obviously they're not into the breeding period yet, but I've got a few animals that say next animal in, which is great. Everything's looking fine with the animals. Now, I'm going to whiz up to the store because there's a couple of bits of equipment I'm going to grab. I've got a log grab for the Merlot, which is fine. And I used... Oh, blimey. Okay, it's open again. Pigs have done this again. They seem to bounce between them all being the right colour and not. I know that some people said, "Oh, it's if you've put a new mod in or something like that." When you, but I haven't introduced anything new, so yeah, I'm not sure about that. But anyway, yeah, I used the big bag handler with the tension straps, but things can get a little bit wobbly. Now, Bear and Papa, thank you again. Constant and long-time supporter of the channel, suggested something to me which I think I used not long after it came out, or I used it on Mercury Farms when I did some logging on there. Now, as you've seen, I've done wood chips. Top right hand corner, that great demand, we made an absolute bomb. We did really, really well with selling the wood chips, and I sold all of it, as you already know from the clip. I think it depends how I edit it, but we did really well. I just wanted to show you this. I went around everywhere. I sorted the roads, I did a few driveways, I did the lanes, I did the main road, I did the forecourt of the petrol station, the store, the Sprouts Farmers Market and all that stuff. I didn't do my own driveway. My wife was not very happy. So yeah, that's now been done. I've done. Now, that I forgot to give back, but it wasn't too expensive to lease, so it wasn't too much of a hit overnight. The other piece of machinery that I used yesterday, off camera, and I have referred to it as the Trex. Me personally, I just think it's a T-Rex. There should be a hyphen between the T and the Rex, but T-Rex, Trex, whatever you want to call it, I'm losing my voice. The 600. Tree dispatcher, not really a harvester, mulcher, to do a bit of log stump grinding, and then I thought, well, hang on a minute, there's a few of the fields I own. When I did grass work in the sort of spring summer last year, or this year, but in spring summer, some of the trees around the outskirts I couldn't really get far enough in to get all the grass and that kind of thing. So I thought, well, I'll get that, do some stump grinding and get rid of a few trees, which I did. It worked really well. I've got a few more to do, which I'm going to be doing in a minute, because a lot of people have been saying about how difficult it is to get rid of the trees and stuff, and some of them I can't get to go at all. Some are a bit fiddly, some are easier than others. But what I'm also going to look at today is, we know wood chip price is good on here anyway. The great demand was an absolute result. Now, if I go into my seasonal economy menu, across to here, look at wood chips. Now is the absolute peak for wood chips anyway, regardless of what the Great Demand gave me. So that's showing the sort of highest possible price. Now it's saying 2191. I haven't gone as high as that. Mine at the moment is showing at 1765. Now obviously, again, first year, the economy, they need to sort itself out. But even after the Great Demand, 1765 for 1,000 litres is a phenomenal price. That's brilliant. Any given time, without that Great Demand I had last night, that would have been absolute, that's mint. Really happy with that. But what also happens normally with seasonal work, and especially when you get into the winter, is the price of timber and lumber goes up as well. There's a couple of things I wanted to try out. I don't know if I'll do the other one because I've done a lot of wood chipping already. But what I used to find when I worked on the Valley of the Old Farm back in the day, not that one, I want this one. There is. No, it's under placeables, isn't it? The Gens HE700 STA static wood chipper. Now that converts them into wood chips and immediately sells them to the sawmill. Now I thought, I wonder then with the Great Demand, if you did that, would you get that really boosted price? But what I always found with this, and how I made a load of money when I did the Valley of the Old Farm, was during the winter I was getting about between 10,000 and 13,000 per tree that I was putting through that wood chipper. And it also meant I didn't have to deliver anything. I didn't have to take the trailer, didn't have to go backwards and forwards. So what I would do was place that, get a Scorpion King, and for an hour knock out a load of trees. That would cover the cost of the lease of the Scorpion King, and that place is 72 grand. You get half that back, depending on how long you have it for, because as I was finding, as I was moving through the forest, I would move it to a new location and bounce it around, and you could make pretty good money. So I don't know if that's still the case, because obviously new iteration, new machinery, potentially that's the thing. But what I want to look at today is actually the lumber side of things. I want to see, that was where I wanted to be, because the price of lumber goes up in winter as well. So I've got a load of piles of logs. I'm not going to do any more wood chipping per se at the moment, but what I want to check out is whether or not that's what I want. The Lizard 1300 XL. This comes with a big bag pack. I want to say this was DD Mod Passion as well that makes this, but I can't remember. I'm going to stick with blue, yellow, makes no difference. 642 to lease. And then we go with that, the Lizard Tool X, which goes with it, 30. Which should make moving piles of logs far, far easier. Like I said, I haven't used it since Mercury, and I kind of got into the habit of, doing different ways of doing it. And when I was on Hermercra using the mill loader, that thing was just phenomenal. But I don't really think that will fit here. I don't think it will work, Let's do that. Extend it. Oh, no, let's do a door. That's weird. Why am I not getting the boom extends? Just opening and closing my door all the time. I don't want that. I could have sworn that extended as well. Am I missing the control here? What's that and that? Well, while I'm here, it says that, but I haven't even got one installed now. I want, that'll do, the BioBelts TTL T500. I've used that one before. There's so many different, There's IT runner ones and all sorts I could be using. There's all sorts of forestry packs and trailers, but this one, generally speaking, it will do the job. Again, don't need to do anything in particular with it. Now my back window's open as well. So I know I've used that before. I'm just wondering if it's because I'm using a vehicle that's already got functions and controls. It's not letting me access that one. Mind you, we're in a winter wonderland at the moment. I've got so much money available now to look at buying more land, buying the CJ Farms. I was going to upgrade my tractor, wasn't I? I didn't necessarily want to do that now straight away, but I could do. I could get the one that I've been after for so long. Shall I? Shall I? You'll probably already know if I have. Oh, I'm going to do it. Yeah, why not? Let's get myself a new tractor. So I've done it. I've got myself Xerion 3300. I didn't go for the, that's 335 horsepower. There was a 379 horsepower version, but I've gone for that. That might be a little bit wide. I can put narrows on it, but then I don't think it's going to make much difference to the wheel arches and the actual overall width of the vehicle. What I need to do now then is work out whether or not, I'm not sure I'm going to need the rear weight. Probably going to keep the Fendt. I might keep the Fendt and lose the Summer, I think, maybe. Or maybe... yeah, I might do that. Will give me more options. This is really puzzling. It's not where I saw this going today. I wasn't intending buying this tractor until spring. Pop it there for the time being. Too big too quickly? It's a medium-ish size tractor. You've got tractors that go up to 600 horsepower, you know, knocking on 700, and so it's kind of middle of the range, I guess. I was going to go for a different class first and kind of work my way up to getting that, but I thought, who am I kidding? Like I said right from the very start of this Let's Play, a lot of this has been about me just getting stuff because I want it. Are there better vehicles? Are there better options? Are there cheaper ones? Are there, you know, should I be going up gradually? I've got the money sitting there. I worked to get the money. I got the good, great demand for wood chips. So you know what? I thought, why not treat myself? Right, let's try this again. Yeah, there we go. So now, side to side, I'm getting the option for extending that. I think it's just because there are all the different control options on the other tractor. And hopefully with this rear weight, we should still be able to hook up to that. Sorry for all that mucking around. Right. Question is, am I going to be able to reach into that? Might be perfect for doing wood chips. I'm pretty sure when I did this on... yeah, I'm just thinking now. I'm sure when I did this on Mercury Farms, I had a placeable ramp in, so I could use it to get some elevation to get logs into the trailers. But again, we'll see. So yeah, a couple of things to do. We're going to go up and we'll look at the oh, actually I'll carry up the main road and turn down. Yeah, it's a little bit wide, isn't it? But I've got it. Cool. I used the let's do that. Get front wheel steer only, that's better. Just for the time being. The big brother of this I used on when I worked on Geiselsberg, and I loved that. It's just, and that was when all the class stuff came out. Fantastic. So, had a day off yesterday. Well, I say had a day off. Had a day off from recording, from doing a video. I had man cave work to do. Since the lockdown, I had already started doing the siding on the man cave, and ran out of timber, which is ironic, really, considering what we're doing today. The company that I'd ordered from couldn't get any stock, and it didn't matter where I went. I looked all at nobody had what I wanted. Most other companies didn't even have the size that the original provider had given me. So I kept checking and kept checking and kept checking. Everything was out of stock until about 3 weeks ago, I think it was, and they started to get some more stock in, and then on their website it said that they would be able to deliver out again to a few more places, because up until then they were only doing local stuff and a lot of it was collection only, but only if they had things in stock. So I checked and they had some in stock, but not the length I had originally had, so I had to go for a slightly shorter length, which is no big deal. But as winter is rapidly approaching, I needed to get it finished. The plan was to get it all done through the summer, get it all done, kind of winterized and ready to go, and that didn't happen. So, oh right, now I need to go back to that, because that did not want to turn in there, did it? There we go, that's better. Now, as you can see, we'll have a quick look. All this end's been cleared, mostly. I've left a couple of fir trees, 4 fir trees. Here, using the T-Rex, remember all these pesky trees that were along here? So when I was trying to cut around this bit, it didn't really like it. I kept getting caught up, so I've cleared a load of these, although some of those didn't want to go. And some of those odd-shaped ones were a little bit finicky. I couldn't get those to go either, but I've cleared a whole load on there. I've cleared up by the allotments, so I've done a bit more. Now, as far as wood chip goes, I sold all of the wood chip I had when the great demand was on, carried on wood chipping through the night to replace what I'd sold by putting back into the into my storage, my wood chip storage. So I cleared some more. Now all the lumber that's over there, that's what I'm saying, the lumber over there is also in log piles, but what I did was cleared a load here, and it is again that kind of cold light of day thing of, oh blimey, just how much did I clear? I think I'm up to just over 500,000 litres in storage. Yeah, 509 now. So I sold my original 700,000 litres, then went back to it because I had all the equipment, and this is where I've cleared out to. And again, I thought this was going to be way worse because it was in the dark and I was driving out. So this area has now been cleared, and this area back to here got me 500,000 litres. So that 500,000 litres is in storage. That's an insurance. It's there for, you know, should I need it? Am I going to need it? Am I going to use it? I don't know, but it's there. You know, it's a kind of backup protocol, if you want to call it that. And we're through the winter, and when I started off, when I decided initially, let's do contracting work for local farmers, let's build up until we can get our own farm, until we can do our own farming, I had to put in a lot of hours doing contract work to build up the initial amount of money. I don't want to spend all my rest of my time just doing contract work. So the ability to be able to buy my own farm equipment and do things like that, this will help with all of that. Right, so the T-Rex is here. I meant for that to go back and I forgot, so I got clobbered overnight for the lease of that. That said, I'm going to be using it because I've got some stuff down at the farm. I want to try and sort some trees out, which I'm going to show you with that. In case you've never used it before, haven't seen it before, whatever it might be. So what we'll do is, let's switch to that, raise that up a bit. So I'm hoping this is going to work. Just suddenly realised with the trailer, it's not going to be the best, is it? But now, how can I go about doing this a little bit easier? We'll see about the height thing in a minute, won't we? Let's pop that there. Do that. Oh, so cool having this. Gives me a lot of options as well going into spring. The cultivator will look a lot better on this. It won't look as unwieldy and odd. I could maybe go for a slightly larger seed. I don't know, I'm just trying to think. So, what we should be able to do now is, if I can drop that down if I want to. Not that. Wrong one. That. Probably don't need to. Put that down to. Whoa, 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 whoa. Right, let's see what this will pick up. Too much. Still too much. That's. don't think it's going to want to lift that. Right, that might be a bit better. Right down to the wood. It is lifting it. I was kind of... Oh, actually, you know what? We might be alright. I was worried it was going to start all going a bit weird and flicking around all over the place. Maybe not. So yeah, we'll take a load of lumber. We'll fill the trailer up. We'll take a load and see how it is price-wise for lumber. I would imagine the wood chip price is going to be the better of the two. If that's as high as that goes, yeah, I've had it now. I can't get that any higher. Yep. Ah, that's annoying. Yeah, so for doing something like wood chips, when you're just dropping stuff onto the wood chipper, that's absolutely perfect, but I just haven't got the height. I wonder if I put it into... It's a bit of a weird way of doing this. But, you know what? And that's all part of the process. Just don't want these logs to start going a bit bonkers, which they might well do. You know what I've decided? Having tried and fiddled around and tried to move the trailer into one of the dips, there's a couple of hollows here and that just didn't work either, it was absolutely awful. I might just take these as they are. Although getting through the gate might be a little bit tricky. I'm not that far away from the sawmill, am I? Let's be honest, let's raise that up a bit, get past the gates. Yeah, this would not have worked with a smaller tractor. I mean, it would have worked with a smaller tractor if I had smaller piles of logs. But this, even with the large weight on the back of this, oh, that's what I could have done. This, you can have an option to put weights in the back, can't you? I could have done that on the back section where the, well, on the saddleback version of this, they attach, but. Or the other option would be to swing the cab round, put the weight on the front and this on the back, and then do it that way round. Could do that, couldn't I? Maybe we'll try that in a second. Right, where am I going? Lumber's here. I don't know what it's going to pay, I haven't got a clue, but certainly worth a try. Right, drop that down. Disconnect. Hop out. Oh, it's in there, isn't it? Okay, didn't like that. It's a bit fiddly, isn't it? See that? For that amount of wood, that's not great, not for this time of year. A full trailer load, I suppose I might be looking at 30 odd grand. Considering the time of year, I mean, maybe I need to wait and get right through to kind of maybe day 4, sort of late winter, the price might come up a bit. There, I'm not raving about that actually. I thought that would be a lot more. That seemed like a lot of work for nothing. Right, so, well, again, it's just experimentation, isn't it? The wood chip price is extremely good, but the lumber price at the moment isn't. Well, I'll say it isn't, I mean, that's not bad, is it? It wasn't a huge pile of logs, was it? And they weren't all thick ones, but... Right, what we'll do then, let's swap this around. The beauty of this tractor being that if we... Oh, the light is... just does not want to come up, does it? Didn't start to get light till 8:30. Let's lower that, drop that off. Let's lower that. drop that off. Let's do that, that and that. Okay, might work a little bit better. Although the light's not so great. Quite hard to see, isn't it? Right, okay. I thought it might pick up more than that. Do I want to pick up more than that though? Whoa, okay. I didn't think it would take all of that, but yeah, that is a bit light on the back axle. I can feel that, but it's hardly surprising when you consider how much is on this. Right, let's put that all down. That's it. Try and lose a couple of those stragglers. My word. Okay. May have slightly overloaded it. Ever so slightly. Let's extend that right out. Bring it right up. I now can't see where I'm driving either, but I'll use the force. God, that's something that dawned on me as well the other day. It's a weird old year this year, isn't it? This is the first year in quite a few we've had no new Star Wars film being released around Christmas time. It's become a bit of a tradition in this household. We've gone out at Christmas. My eldest normally treats us to VIP seats at the cinema and we go and see the new Star Wars film. Feels a bit odd. Might have to rewatch something. Unrealistic? Yes. Get the job done? Yeah. It does seem daft loading the trailer up when I can drive here. Yeah, that's a big old weight on the back of that as well. Wow. Well, it says it on the sign right there, quality timber, and that's exactly what it is. Let's drop that down. It's a bit weird not having the thing out here. Can I go across there? Oh, there we go. Oh, it doesn't want to let me... I suppose I shouldn't really be crossing that, should I? No. Never mind. I'll just leave that open. Yeah, everything's going to pot. Okay, 19,457. So yeah, I mean, to be fair, that wouldn't have been a full load on the trailer. So maybe, yeah, we would have been getting, if I filled up that trailer, we'd be getting a fairly decent price, I guess. It's just the reach of that. It's not. It's okay for moving stuff around. It's like I say, if I was taking things onto a wood chipper, that might be absolutely perfect. But I just, unfortunately, for loading up a trailer, not so much. I suppose if you had one, maybe you could raise and lower the sides, or I suppose you could put it into a regular trailer bed or something like that. But we know that works. To some degree. This does give me a few options. How much was the farm? 400 and something, wasn't it? Should we just check that as well? Just so I know I'm ahead. Where are we? CJ Farms. 443,000. It's pretty good though. I know I've said that before, but you get a lot for your money, don't you? I was thinking also of buying field 39 and 40 for all the grass there as well. Potentially. Does give us a lot of options, it really does. Oh, the other thing as well was stables. I've been offered from Jamie, locally, not far from where we are here, there's a horse trainer, Mark Welling Stables. They're looking to kind of outsource, I guess. They're looking for another set of stables that can maybe help train some of the not train, but exercise the horses, look after them, feed them, just stabling, you know. So we might look at doing that as well. Maybe in the spring we might look at doing horses. I don't want to overload myself in spring. We're going to have all the crop work to do. If we do get the new farm, we will have the potential for doing cows, and we will have chickens, and that will kind of, all of a sudden we've gone from having 2 animals to everything. So maybe the horses will look maybe towards the following year. I don't know. Again, I'm not really sure. I'm really frustrated about that trailer. I'm trying to work out a way to make it easier to load that up, but without putting in a ramp or something, or landscaping a hill, or, you know, which then gets really fiddly and finicky. And I probably will edit out the bit putting it into here because it was awful. It just didn't work. I thought the dip would be steep enough, but wherever you put it, you're too far away from the edge to actually be able to load into it. So, yeah. I am wondering now whether or not to try the static wood chipper as well, whether to give that a bit of a go. Let's see if that will work. Maybe another time. I'm not being particularly decisive at the moment, am I? I'll have to think about that. Maybe we'll end with that as a try. Although I haven't got the Scorpion King now. Oops, I should have raised that back up, shouldn't I? Oh, go away. Okay, so best laid plans and all that. Right, let's put that on. This thing is a beast of a machine. If you haven't used it before, if you want to cut down your lumber, cut down your trees, and you want to use them for wood chips or lumber, then you're not going to use this for doing that. It's brilliant for stump grinding. It's an expensive way of doing stump grinding. If you're going to buy one, leasing it is still fairly expensive. But if you're making a decent bit of money selling your lumber, and you're making a decent bit of money selling wood chips, it's okay. You can afford to. Would you use something like this if you were just doing a little bit of forestry? Probably not. There are all sorts of stump grinders and mulchers and things out there. I just thought for ease of use and speed, last night it was dark, I wanted to get the stumps ground out as quickly as possible. It was while I was doing that that I went over into the corner of the field and remembered that I'd chopped away at some of the trees and some of the bits of them I couldn't get out, and this thing seemed to make fairly light work of it. Right, so as we come down to the yard, this is mainly, I mean, not necessarily to help clear anything out specifically, but it might give me a bit more room. Some of these will go without a fuss, some won't. Now, could I use the lumber? I could, but it's not that important that I do. So if you catch them just right, it works, but it doesn't always, and sometimes you have to come at it from different angles and it gets a bit fiddly. That's when you know you've got it. You almost get that little pop and everything disappears. Now sometimes it will drop into the ground, in inverted commas, and if it does, sometimes when you then save and come back out, it's found its way back out onto the surface again, which again you just go and grind that away again. Let's get some of this. There we go. And these ones don't really like to go. You can't often get the wood chip bit to happen. Sometimes if you go up high you can catch a branch just right, and if you do you can take a few bits away at a time, and sometimes you have to come at those from a different angle. I've left most of those actually because they just don't seem to want to go. Same with this one here. These ones specifically to this area, I don't know, yeah, it'll be different in all different places, but yeah, I can't, it just doesn't seem to want to know. So what I'm probably going to do now is clear a bit more of this, then I'm going to go around into our yard, our farmhouse, because round the back of there where the silo is, it's not great. So I can't seem to get one there. So I might clear a little bit out around there just to tidy that up a bit as well, around the old barn building. It's all a little bit kind of derelict and oh, nothing on this one. That's weird. Don't know if I'll get close to that one either. Through the thicket. Can't see the head of that. Nice. I don't think that one will go. What it says, hang on. it's now 12:30. Well, just before 12:30. And my winter clearing has gone very well. I've left some trees, obviously I might take them all out, but some of those spindly ones that are kind of low down. So this has all been cleared, as you can see. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, it has been cleared. All along this fence line here, a lot of the ones that were along here have all gone. I've left the ones either side of the gate. I just think it frames it kind of nicely. I might take out that branch, I'm not too sure. A few up here, oh, that one needs to go. That's one where it was lower or higher into the ground? Lower, I can't remember now. And I cut it, and obviously then, like I said before, if you do stop, come out of the game, come back in again, because I've had a bit of a break, it will then come back up out of the ground and you can just remove it. So yeah, just tidying up. Around the buildings where the trees were kind of overgrowing a bit around the buildings. That one I couldn't get to, but around this building here, all this has been cleared. Much more open now. Ease of access for vehicles, machinery, mowing. There are a couple here, those spindly ones, these have been removed. As you can see, I didn't cut all round here because of they were there and you couldn't get close enough. So these have been done. So yeah, bit of clearing work. That's, you know, that was the next job I wanted to get sorted, and I have. I'm now considering whether or not to check out that situation with the static wood chipper. I think I will. I might lease the Scorpion King again. Yeah, I might get the Scorpion King down there. It'd be a little bit easier to wood chip onto it with that. I've got a load of logs. I could pile logs on, I suppose, couldn't I? Yeah, I might do that actually. I might stick some logs on. That might be a little bit easier, because that way I can get rid of the logs. This can go back. Oh, actually, no, I won't. I'll keep hold of it for the time being, because I'll have some stumps to grind out. So I'll see you up there in a minute. Well, there'll be a minute for you, or seconds for you, but for me it'll take a little while to get set up. We'll put the static wood chipper in place. I mean, at the end of the day, all I've got to do really is just cover the cost of having it. You know, it's a proof of concept, if anything. I'm not sure what the trees are going to go for. If it's anywhere near 10 grand a tree, it actually can work out, like I say, very profitable, and it also reduces the amount of time it takes to have to go backwards and forwards taking the wood chip. Is it more profitable than selling the wood chip at 1,700 and something for 1,000 litres? Probably not. Actually, that might not be a bad test to do, actually. Well, that one, I just realised as well, that means setting up loads of stuff. That's what, if I pick two trees that are pretty much identical as I can get, stick one through the static wood chipper, stick one through the regular wood chipper, the wood chips go and sell, and see what the price difference is. See what I mean? There are a couple here that we cut earlier and have now kind of re-emerged and need sorting out. So right then, I think we're good to go. I've released the IT runner with the wood chipper on the back. I've left it on the trailer because that's quite high-sided. It's different if you've got it on the ground and it's going into the storage point, but I don't think that would reach over, although the trailer has clipped into that a little bit. What we'll do is, the trailer's slipped, or we've moved back a little bit, I'm not too sure. Do that. Turn the engine off on that. I've got the static wood chipper. Now I need two trees which are pretty much the same height, because generally speaking they're identical trees. Sometimes they're lowered into the ground, sometimes they're slightly smaller. Those two are pretty much the same, but they're right over by the fence, they're going to be hard to get to. That said, that one there and that one back through there look about right. So one's going to go through the static wood chipper. I want to make sure I get the right one. It's the darker trunk, so it's that one there. What we need is that tree marking spray they have on PC. So we'll see what price is, you know, what price we get. When I sell this, I'm only going to get 36 grand back. So what I will do is chuck a load of stuff through this to make at least 36,000. That way, when I sell it back, I'm not going to be out of pocket. So I'm not just going to put one tree through it and then get rid of it. But it is worth bearing in mind. We'll see what we come out with, and what better time to test it out than during winter. You know, we've got not much else to do. We might as well have a bit of a fiddle around, see what options work. And I'm able to do this because of the money I made. If you're struggling to make money and you're doing your logging to make money, you're not going to be wanting to spend money or waste money mucking around trying to find out what option works best and that kind of thing. So we'll stick a tree through that, go and sell it, we'll see which one gives us the most money. Now obviously on here, around this area, it pays out very, very well for wood chip. Most farming areas don't pay out very well for wood chip, in which case that's probably going to be a better option, especially in winter. But that's the whole point. Let's see, shall we? So let's open up the header, or the head cutter. I've got it set on 1 metre cuts again, just because it's easier. Just let me see if this gets stuck in amongst the trees. This is as much for me to, like I say, it always worked out very well on FS19. And in certain, like I say, certain farming areas it works better than others. It depends what the price is, what you can get. You've probably seen me do this loads of times on various different maps and let's plays. Right, let's try that. Let's go back a little bit. I need this to go through and not stop. Right, I need to add 816 into whatever we end up with through for this tree. Which, let's be honest, that's a good price already. 816 for one chunk. And like I say, the beauty of this being that you don't need to transport. I know it's not, again, it's not realistic, that automatic selling, where are the wood chips going to, you know, but it is here, it works. Wow, okay. This has really surprised me. Right, we'll see what that comes out at. What does that say? 16,000 for one tree. Well, that's 17 something, isn't it? That's 17.3 because it was 816. 17,000 for one. I mean, to be fair, that was one of the taller trees. Right. So now, I mean, that's. I haven't got to do much more to then cover the cost of leasing that or buying it. Right, this is the other one. Let's grab this one from back here. We'll stick this through the other one. Put it down as low as I can. Up and away. Wow, that's blown my mind. I never ever got that much on any of the ones I've done. That's crazy money. But it just goes to show though, if you are going to do a bit of it, that might not be a bad idea in the winter. I'm going to have to drag this over the top of the tractor, potentially. That's where I stove the windows in, that kind of thing. Is that going to be over? Right. So this will just wood chip through, then we'll go and sell it. If we make 17 grand and what we get off this tree, all well and good. If we don't, it's actually more viable to stick it through the static line. But again, like I say, we'll see. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work out. Depends how many thousand litres we get from each tree. I'm really curious now. That is mad. Also negates the need for storage. You don't have to store wood chips if you don't want to. Winter consumer testing. Right, let's jump in that. Let's switch to that. Turn off wood crusher, stop engine, disconnect. Let's go and sell this, shall we? Whoa! That's a bit slippy. Ice-capades. Oh yeah, we will do. Absolutely. That one tree has given us 14,802 litres at 1,700 for 1,000. But that, like I say, that is specific to this area because the price of wood chip is very good. If where you're farming, the price of wood chip is 280, 300. If you're lucky enough to get a 500 for 1,000 litres, then putting it through that static wood chipper is the way to go. Well, that does not want to turn. Well, that's really surprised me. Tell you what, it's a very tight sawmill. You'd struggle to get very big vehicles in here. Larger, longer trailers might take a bit of jiggling around to get it just right. That's what we're looking at. 17.3 we need to make. We'll easily do that. Tw 26,565. Wow. Craziness! And on that craziness, and a bit of consumer advice, if you want to, like I say, that static wood chipper is a good way to go. And even if you borrowed a bit of money to be able to lease the bits of equipment, or even to get that static wood chipper, like I say, especially if you're in winter and the price has gone up, that's really struggling to turn. That just slip. You can pay that back in no time. You wouldn't even have to incur an extra hour's leasing cost. If you just spent an hour chucking logs through that wood chipper, you're going to make the money to cover the costs of everything, the money you borrowed to cover all of that. And a bit on top for yourself. A bit of walking around money. I seem to be bumping into everything today. My eyesight's going. My wife and I are booking eye tests. I have said that before, how bad my eyesight is now. That is slipping all over the place. Didn't notice it so much with the Fent, but that seems to be... It still looks nice. I still love it. I'm glad I bought it. There we go. I'm going to spend a bit of time now. I'm just putting some trees through that static wood chipper just to cover the cost of it. Couple more trees and I'll have made my money back, and then it doesn't matter, then I can get rid of it and no worse for wear. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Winter's always a tricky one, finding work to do and things to do. We did a load of wood chippings. I thought I would do a bit of lumber today, and then these kind of tests, clearing the yards and things, was something I was intending to do anyway, and having the T-Rex just kind of made sense. I might as well do some while I've got it. If you have enjoyed it, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.